All right, it's gone from derangement to demonic. This photo was part of a video that occurred about last election cycle. A depiction of Donald J. Trump wax. We don't know what it's made out of, but, well, everyone on the soccer field next to the border ends up kicking the mock Trump head around, but it resurfaces now in the United States in an even more despicable display. And when we add it into everything else happening, this display of Donald Trump, or this display of Donald Trump, what exactly is going on? We always get mocked when we say it's a battle of good versus evil. I watch all the time. The Republicans say it, or Trump says it, or Laura Trump says it. Oh, it's how dare they say it's good versus evil? But how else do you look at this any other way? And it's a story I'm going to get into a lot more detail with you here in just 1 minute. First want to say I absolutely adore all of you. This audience has grown exponentially over the last couple weeks. Thank you so much for just being here and understanding what real news is supposed to sound like. I know. No teleprompters that can go out and throw me off because there is no teleprompter. We just know our subject matter that well. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will. I hope you'll help me share the video. If you want to support me, I don't just ask for support. I give you something in return. I give you more news because that's what we do. It's what Lisa Haven and I have worked on for years now. It's restrictedrepublic.com. Came out of our own pocketbooks. No sponsors, no advertisers, beholden to no one but our audience. It's why it's audience-funded news. To enjoy it, use discount code Independence right now. Get $4 a month for the next 2 years. You can cancel anytime via your dashboard. It has apps all over the place, so easy to watch, easy to view, and it is growing as quickly as this channel is because of people like you who want to support efforts of what news was meant to sound like. But now, let's get back to the story. If you've watched a movement, as they try and remember, the Democrats like to say that the Republicans are doing something, the conservatives are doing something that they're actually doing. This on Vox. Donald Trump and the disturbing power of dehumanizing language. Or we move forward a step further. PBS, Trump under fire again for violent language and dehumanizing anti-immigration rhetoric. Or The Atlantic, the real risk of Trump's dehumanization of immigrants. If you watched my video yesterday, you heard one of the young Turks coming out saying herself that, this dehumanizing movement's disturbing, and I don't want to be involved with it anymore. Actually moving away from the far left side of her own party. Anna Kasparian, to be more specific. So people are starting to realize it, but sometimes they don't put it in the right perspective until it's in your face. This artistic work in Los Angeles, or this artistic work in Las Vegas, now moving through the country, actually I believe in Detroit right now, or this artistic work to be a display of anti-hate by kicking what appears to be the head of Donald J. Trump around a dirt-filled soccer field. Nope, can't make it up. But you see, there's a lot of evil stuff occurring around us right now. Don't be blind to it. Because it is truly, in my humble opinion, a battle of good versus evil right now. Michigan Governor Whitmer mocks Catholics by feeding leftist influencer Doritos on her knees. Interesting. I'm going to play that clip for you. But first, I want to play just the introduction to the video that appeared, let's see what date this was, 4 years ago, by the group In Decline. So you understand that this was a direct reference. This is involving the picture I showed you, the disturbing one, because this is the video where that head appears.
We're in the middle of a crisis on our southern border. Beginning today, the United States of America gets back control of its...
Turn that off. We don't want control of the border. In other words, if you were to interpret the way I will interpret it, the group in decline. Obviously, not Trump advocates, as you can see in the picture here. Artist Activist Collective in Decline talks about its politically provocative work trying to draw attention, which I'm fine with. Everybody has the right to do this. I'm a staunch believer in that. But it doesn't mean I don't have the right to call out what the movement is. And I could do it just through screenshots. I'm not going to play the video. It's nothing anybody should watch because you won't be able to get it out of your mind. In decline, shown there on the truck. Putting a point of reference. This is the video. Man goes to the border wall, digs into the sand, pulls out a plastic bag. And in that plastic bag, well, you got it. They give you a good idea who's going to come out of it, right? Because this is the representation that comes out of it. Artistic work, according to those who made it. And then they proceed to play soccer with the head. Kicking it around the soccer field to the gold that's painted on the border wall. I think you get the idea. And it really hits home when it's all said and done. Well, this about 4 years ago has now moved forward into Los Angeles. An artistic work, if you look around, it is the same alleged artistic head. I'm just trying to frame this in the right way for you. Being kicked around an art exhibit now. But in addition to that art exhibit, there's many other things, because if you look around the room a little bit deeper, picture I made here, you see there's multiple representations of Trump all over the place, huh? Oh, this is normal? This isn't evil? Are you teaching the own hate that you were allegedly working against? In my opinion, you were. Same head. Well, when you kick it around enough, I guess all the hair falls off. This goes on. TMZ, art exhibit in Los Angeles shows a Trump statue with genitals taken off. No, I'm not making any of this up. This is actually what's occurring around our country. Unbelievable, isn't it? It's hard to fathom how deep the evil's permeating. Watch my videos over the last couple of weeks. Watch the clips of people going absolutely insane with anger, spewing venom. So who's the one who's been dehumanized exactly? They always blame the other side for exactly what they're doing, because now this artistic work is moving around the country. Giant naked Donald Trump statue sparks MAGA fury. Despicable. Laughable. What about crowd size? 43-foot new Trump statue erected originally on that Las Vegas highway. Now where is it at? It's in Detroit. 43-foot sculpture of Trump on display at Detroit Art Park. And people are not shocked. No, according to the article, they're laughing. But the voters aren't laughing. Because of things like this, the voters are changing. They tried this time and time again. Back in 2016, life-size statue of naked Donald Trump greets citizens in U.S. City as part of protest. And it's the same activist collective called In Decline. You see how the world turns, huh? Not hard to connect these dots if you follow it enough, and it'd move forward into something far more vile. Maybe not more vile, because it's happened again. They seem to have a thing with renditions of Trump's head. Renditions of Trump's body. It's actually beyond disturbing, isn't it? Because we don't have anything else to worry about, do we? Did you read this Business Insider article? Gun owners freak out after newspaper publishes their names and addresses. Huh. This was in New York. If you bought a gun, they published your address and your name. Boy, that put you in a whole lot of jeopardy now, didn't it? What if somebody wanted to go get that gun? A lot cheaper to steal it from you than to buy it. But you see, this is the opposition party to the conservatives who are spearheading this. So they're, instead of coming up with policy and action and success, They're going after a campaign of dehumanization and control. Wonder why all of a sudden the polls are shifting. Of course, if you believe the polls, but you see, they got a long-standing history of this. Did you see this little ditty of Gretchen Whitmer? This is just, well, it could serve no other purpose. I guess it serves one person's purpose. It's not somebody you want to be associated with, and that person is not of this world, and it's not Gretchen Whitmer either. Watch and hear, and I think you'll quickly understand. Just watch this with me for a minute. That is the most dead stare I've ever seen. Actually kind of creepy in a way, but what's creepier is what she does to the woman on her knees right next to her as she serves her a Dorito like it's the Eucharist. That is beyond sacrilegious in more ways, mocking somebody's faith with a waltz. Oh, that's a Harris waltz hat, isn't it? But yet J.D. Vance and Trump and MAGA are the weird cult. I'm sorry, you looking at the same thing I'm looking at? These people got some major issues. But I guess it stems from the fact that they just use people who, well, will listen to what they say, they do what they do, and actually allow this man to still act as our sitting president. I know, air quotes. Because of clips like this, I want you to listen in here. This is astounding to me.
Mr. President, what did Prime Minister Netanyahu tell you about his plans relating to retaliation?
He's coming over to help with a storm.
Yeah, you heard that like I did. President Biden just stated that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is personally coming over to help you guys with the storm. Oh, of course, they covered that up immediately. Oh, he was just joking. Are we certain he's joking? I mean, a man who was joking would be in complete control of his emotions, would understand sense and sensibility, maybe even have a snarky sense of humor, and definitely be able to ward off tough questions without throwing a hissy fit. Well, let's see how that works out.
Mr. President, have you spoken with former President Trump at all?
Are you kidding me? Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable? You said you were going to hold those accountable.
Public will hold them accountable. You better than the press hold them accountable because you know the truth.
Do you plan to speak with former?
Let's just break that down. It's 3rd and 10. I am in control of everything. I am Joe Biden. I'm speaking directly to Trump. Get a life, man. Help these people. That's your job, Joe. I know Harris wants to pretend it's her job, but she has never been involved before, so why should she be involved now? But Joe, that's your job, and maybe Benjamin Netanyahu's going to come down and help you too, because you got to get back on vacation. So you've now offered the Prime Minister of Israel and Donald Trump to handle the disaster for you. And if it's not done, then the mainstream media should hold them both accountable. This is psychotic. Everything that's happening in this country is psychotic. It is so deeply rooted in a psychotic, evil nature right now. You have to just try to smile to get through it, because this is allegedly who they want you to believe could be your next commander-in-chief. This is a town hall meeting, a town hall. You're allegedly taking questions that the audience wants to ask you, and you shouldn't probably know what they're asking. And you definitely, if you're qualified at all to do your job, shouldn't have notes, shouldn't have cue cards. You should just be able to answer the people's questions, because that means you know what you're talking about, you believe in what you're talking about, and you've prepared to talk. Well, that was till Univision made this horrific mistake for Kamala. Just watch in the background. As the camera pans around to behind Harris, faces the audience, it shows something else. that they, trust me, panic, because the minute they figured out what happened, boom, lights off.
Victim of crime, are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene, victim of crime, are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay?
I love it. I gotta just be quiet for a second. Do you see it there? Let me get my, come on, I'm gonna do my best Madden here. You see what that is right there? That, my friends, is a teleprompter. You're answering questions at a town hall. The only reason a teleprompter would need to be there is because somebody could potentially be giving you the answers to the questions that are being asked, of which you are supposed to be prepared for. The very essence of a town hall to qualify the candidate as being capable of doing the damn job. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. I can't believe America is falling for this. And if you watched it, as it pans around right here, watch Univision catches what happened. And what do they do? Boop, turn it off. Oh, on, off, on, off. It's like a light switch. Kamala just doesn't have the on button. But outside of that and moving forward, I'm not even going to play it because it's not worth wasting your time. It's actually a horrible clip. I watched it a couple times. I tried to get what the essence of it was, but there is no essence. You know why? Because there is no substance. I used to spend $250 a week on food. Now it goes up to $350. Kamala, I've come from a working class. She can't never answer a question. We know that now, and it's what she does here. He asks her a very specific question about shoving Biden aside. She goes somewhere off into COVID testingville. So what do they have to lean on? They have no statistics that back them at all. Zero, zip. So what do? They're going straight evil. They're watching. They're making you look. And let me just remind you again, so nobody forgets. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is what they have to adhere to. Welcome to your Democrat Party. Please, don't fall for it. Please, let's just find some common ground. We have a ton. Don't let them make you think we don't, because we got more than most can imagine, and it is showing now as Kamala's losing traction. The campaign's freaking the heck out because they don't have enough money to keep up, because all those Rust Belt, Swing Belt states ain't going the way they were supposed to. And the more Kamala gets in front of camera, the worse it ends up going for. Imagine, she can't answer a simple question without a teleprompter. What is she going to do one-on-one with Xi Jinping or Putin or Netanyahu? She'll fold like a house of cards, and they will laugh the United States into oblivion. I love you all. Till next time. I know. I just zen. I don't have Zen because I don't even know what it does. Just try to find ways to cool down. I'll just go run another 4 miles today. If you feel like that, trust me, you're not alone. We all feel like that. You got to scratch your head and just look at it sometimes and say, is this really? Is this real? Or what's as real as the day is long? And it's as evil as you think it is. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justus Knight. Signing out.